Hello everybody, Rebel Dusty Pinky here, and I am going to show you how to get a Kavat on Warframe, the little tiny kitties, the cutie kitties, and I know you want one, so that's why you're here, and I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you the easy way, which will involve a little bit of plat. It's very quick and very efficient if you have the platinum to spend, and I'm also going to go through a detailed way of getting the Kavat as if you were a newer player coming into the game, a couple steps that'll help you not only get started in the game, but actually help you obtain the Kavat and where to get the resources and some frames that'll help you along the way. So let's get started with the quick and easy way. If you have the platinum, you are going to need to buy two things from the market. You can look it up by typing in the word Kavat. You're going to need to buy the Kavat Incubator Upgrade segment for 175 platinum. Please keep in mind you will have to be MR5 in order to purchase that segment. And you are also going to need to buy a Kavat starter kit for a whopping 95 platinum. This bundle will include 10 Kavat genetic codes, which you will need to make a Kavat. You will also get an incubator power core, which you will need to power your incubator. You will get 6 DNA stabilizers, which will help you maintain your Kavat's health once it is made. And you will get 1 genetic code template, which if you are trying to get a Smida Kavat, you can go to trade chat or ask a friend if they have a Smida code template, and then you can put that in and get possibly a Smida if you want the Smida, or if you want the Adarza, you could get a genetic code for the Adarza. There is also a third Kavat called the Vaska, but in order to get the Vaska Kavat legitly, you will have to already have a Kavat. But if you're interested in just getting the Vaska Kavat right away, you can buy the Vaska Kavat starter kit instead of the regular starter kit. The Vaska Kavat starter kit will give you 10 genetic codes, 1 incubator power core, 6 DNA stabilizers, 1 genetic code template, and then the 2 Vaska imprints that you will need in order to make the Vaska Kavat. Now, if this is your first Kavat, I do recommend staying away from the Vaska and trying to go right for the Smida Kavat, because the Smida Kavat will help you get a lot of resources faster, because it has an ability called Charm, which will give your Smida Kavat a 28% chance every 27 seconds to bestow its owner with good fortune. Now, good fortune gives a various amount of different buffs, but there are 2 buffs that stand out above the rest, one of which will give you the highest grade dropping loot on that planet that you're on, and the other one will make it so that all of your pickups are doubled for loot for a duration of time. I'm now going to show you how to get a Kavat without the use of platinum. I'm going to show you all of the resources that are involved, how to obtain these resources, and I'm also going to throw in some tips and tricks on how to make getting these resources a lot easier. And also, if you're a new player, I'm going to show you a couple tricks on how to get yourself to where these resources are. First things first, I want you to stare at this picture for a minute. I want you to memorize this picture. I want you to take a screenshot of this picture, because this picture has all of the resources that you need for everything to make your first Kavat. This will also include the incubator segment upgrade, the incubator power core, and the Kavat itself. Let's start with getting the Kavat codes. I'm going to recommend going to Tarim on Deimos. You have to go to Deimos to get the codes, but I recommend Tarim. It's a survival mission, and you have very good chances of, as soon as you load into the mission, having that little staging area where you have to hack the console, finding random Kavats to scan. The objective is to find these feral Kavats on Deimos derelict missions and scan them. With your scanner, you have a 25% chance of getting a genetic code after successfully scanning Kavat. Now, if you have a resource booster, that will double on top of it. Most of the time, the Kavats will be invisible, so you have to keep your eyes very, very sharp, and they will not show up on the mini-map, so enemy radar mods will not help you either. You just have to wander around the derelict and try and find random Kavats to scan. These Kavats always travel in packs, so if you find one, make sure you look around that same area because most likely you're going to find another. You can find multiple packs in the same mission, so make sure you're looking around as you're trying to keep your life support up. Now, there are some recommended frames that will make this a lot easier. There are frames like stealth frames. You got Ivar, you got Loki, you got Ash. You could be invisible. Go find the Kavat, scan it, move on. Now, you do have some other frames you can use that can stun the enemies. For instance, Rhino's Stomp. You can use Mag's Magnetize. You can use Radel Blind. That's Excalibur's ability. Those are all very early on in the game frames that you can use to get these genetic codes for Kavats. Here is a list of some frames that you can use to try and get Kavat codes. These are not all the options available, but these are just a couple that I would recommend that work very well for getting these Kavat codes. Personally, I recommend using Rhino. Rhino is very easy to get early on in the game. You can obtain Rhino from doing the boss fight on Fossa on the planet Venus.
I expected it to be bigger.
This is the boss fight you'll have to do to acquire Rhino. You'll have to do this until you get all 3 pieces to drop. Now, you got a couple different things that make Rhino really useful for getting Kavat codes. You can use his Stomp to stun the dang kitties. And then you also have your Iron Skin that will help protect you while you're trying to scan the dang kitties. Now, the main thing you want on your Rhino is going to be a continuity mod or any kind of ability duration mod. Ability duration will just make it so the enemy will stay suspended in the air longer from the Rhino Stomp, therefore giving you a little more time to line up your shot with your camera, get the perfect angle, and extract that genetic code from that little kitty. Now, while we're on Deimos, I'm going to recommend we make a pit stop to Magnesidium if you have not yet to acquire Necros, because Necros will make it much easier to acquire the other resources on our list. This is the boss you will have to fight until you get all 3 of the Necros pieces to drop. Now, I recommend doing this boss fight with a group because this one can be rather difficult. Now, Necros is amazing for looting, and it's all about the third ability on Necros called Desecrate. Now, with Desecrate, you have a 54% chance to make extra loot drop from any dead enemy in range of your ability. So you want to go all range with Necros so you can hit as many bodies as you possibly can. Now, when you use Desecrate, it will take away your energy, which can be hard to maintain. But if you can get your hands on a Despoil mod from one of the syndicates, it will make managing it so much easier. Despoil Augment mod works really well with Necros's passive ability, which makes it so any enemy that gets desecrated will drop more health orbs. Therefore, you are constantly making more enemies drop health orbs. You pick it up, you desecrate them, and you keep on bing bang looting. We are headed to Teshib or Hepit in the Void because we are going to grab our Argon crystals and our control modules from here. You just run through these missions really quick. You use your Desecrate if you have Necros, and you look for these little robotic junction boxes and Argon pigment boxes. They will spawn randomly on the maps. If you find these, you're guaranteed to get Argon and control modules out of them. You can also get these resources to drop off random enemies or from random boxes. So kill and break everything. All right, we are moving on to alloy plating. We need 120k of this, so it will take a while to obtain all of this, but we're going to minimize the time by heading on over to Ceres Draco. You will get the best odds for getting alloy plating here. Although there are a lot of other places, this is the place you want to go if you want to farm it the most efficiently. Alloy plating is a common drop here. Draco is a survival, so you just want to kill and break open everything, open every locker, and you will just get all of the alloy platings. You want all of the alloy platings. With Necros and a resource booster, in 20 minutes, I was able to pull out 14k alloy plating here, which equals out to about 7k alloy plating if you were to not have a booster. Now, this is also a really nice place to get Orokin cells if you need them as well, because I was able to pull out 12 Orokin cells from Draco as well in a 20-minute run. Now, do keep in mind, I was running this mission solo. If you were to come here with a full squad, you would have much better results, a lot more killing, a lot more enemies would spawn, a lot more loot. But for a solo run, this is still a very efficient place to go and get alloy plating. Now, if you're more a casual looter, you could always just get the alloy plating slowly by going to Hydron. Hydron is a hot spot for grinding out levels on Sedna. You can pull about 1,000 alloy plating every 5 waves, which is a little slow, but there are a lot of weapons and frames to level up in this game, so if you spend a lot of time in Hydron, you could potentially get the 120k just from this mission. You can also acquire this resource on Venus, Jupiter, Phobos, and Pluto, as well as Sedna and Ceres, as we've already stated. But you will eventually get this over time in large amounts. It just takes time. 250k credits may seem like a lot, but once you unlock the index on Neptune, that kind of money will be easily obtainable. Now, you can get those from other means. If you're not to Neptune yet, you can always join in on random railjack missions. You can gain a decent amount of credits. Those are my 2 suggestions for gaining credits. Now, the last resource on the list is the nanospores, but you should have gotten that while you're getting your Kvat genetic codes on Deimos. It is a very common drop on Deimos. You get it by the thousands in minutes, so I won't even worry about that one. Now, you should have your Kvat incubator segment installed and making a little Kvat baby as we speak. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you have any other tutorials or anything you'd like me to cover, make sure you leave them down in the comments. I'd love some new ideas. And also, I stream on Twitch 4 days a week, usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you'd like to come hang out with us live on stream as we play a lot of Warframe, you're more than welcome to join us. Twitch.tv/RebelDustyPinky. I'll see you on the next one.